What we gotta do? What I gotta do? Why I gotta meet you? The whole world hear me asking you, bro. What we gotta do? I just talked to Baby J. I still ain't talked to you. I did business with you. I ain't do business with Baby J. I did business with you. And you tell him I ain't trying to pull up. Who? Who ain't trying to pull up? Trump, hello.
Yo, what is good everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because we do not play around on this page. We bring you the real stories, the uncut truth, the stuff that the mainstream media is too scared to touch. And today we are going into something so deep, so layered, so absolutely wild that by the time this video is over, you're going to be sitting there with your jaw on the floor wondering how any of this is real life. So before we get into it, smash that like button, drop a comment right now telling me where you're watching from, and let's get into this thing. Alright. So let me set the scene for you. You already know who Finesse2Tymes is. If you don't, real quick, Finesse2Tymes, born Robert Barnett, is a rapper out of Memphis, Tennessee who spent years behind bars, came home, linked up with some serious people in the industry, and started making real noise. His story is one of those ones where the come up is gritty, it is real, and it has got layers to it that most people on the outside looking in do not fully understand. He is not just a rapper. He is a man who built his reputation in environments where one wrong move means everything. And that backstory? That is incredibly important for what we are about to discuss today. Now on the other side of this story, you have got 50 Cent Curtis Jackson. The man needs no introduction. 50 Cent has been one of the most powerful figures in not just hip-hop, but in business, in television, in media for over 2 decades now. The man went from getting shot 9 times to building a business empire that includes G-Unit Records, G-Unit Films and Television, Stars deals, a tequila brand, and a list of ventures that most people cannot even keep track of. 50 Cent does not just move in hip-hop. He moves in boardrooms. He moves in courtrooms. He moves in spaces that most rappers have never even been invited into. And when 50 Cent decides he wants something, whether it is a record deal, a partnership, or a piece of someone else's situation, he does not just ask. He makes offers. He builds leverage. He applies pressure in ways that are sophisticated, calculated, and almost always effective. And then you have got J. Prince Jr. Now this is where things get really interesting. J. Prince is a name that commands massive respect in hip-hop. The Prince family, the Rap-A-Lot legacy, that is not something you take lightly. J. Prince Sr. built something that goes beyond music. It is about loyalty, about the code of the streets translated into business, about relationships that run deeper than contracts and royalty percentages. J. Prince Jr. has been carrying that torch, expanding that reach, and making his own name in this game. When J. Prince Jr. gets on a platform and goes off, and I mean really goes off, people listen. Because it is not just talk. There is always substance behind it. There is always something real behind it. So here is where these 3 worlds collide. And here is where this story gets absolutely insane. Word started circulating, and we are talking about credible word, not just internet gossip, that 50 Cent made some kind of offer. An offer directed at the situation involving Finesse2Tymes and his ties to mob-connected figures in the industry. Now I want you to understand the weight of what that sentence means. This is not 50 Cent offering someone a record deal. This is not 50 Cent extending a hand for a collaboration. This is reportedly an offer that was designed to essentially buy Finesse2Tymes out of a particular set of loyalties, a particular set of affiliations, and a particular network of relationships. And if that is true, and we are going to go deep into why the evidence suggests it very well could be, then what we are watching unfold is one of the most significant power moves in the culture in recent memory. Let me explain why this matters so much. In hip-hop, in street culture, loyalty is not just a value, it is a currency. It is possibly the most valuable currency that exists. You can have all the money in the world, all the platinum records in the world, all the streaming numbers in the world. And if people do not trust you, if people think you can be bought, if people believe you will abandon your affiliations the moment a bigger check shows up, you are done. Your credibility evaporates overnight. The streets have a long memory. And the people who move at the level that Finesse2Tymes moves at, the people who are connected to the networks he is connected to, they do not forget. They do not forgive easily. And they absolutely do not respect someone who folds when the money gets long. So when this offer allegedly came through, and again, multiple sources are speaking on this, it did not come from nowhere. Finesse2Tymes had a decision to make. And the decision he apparently made is what triggered everything that followed. Because Finesse2Tymes did not just decline quietly. He reportedly reacted. He made it known. And in making it known, in letting the right people understand what was being attempted here, he essentially put a spotlight on a move that 50 Cent probably would have preferred stayed in the shadows. That is the thing about 50 Cent's style of pressure. It is most effective when it is invisible. When it gets exposed, the whole dynamic shifts. Now let us talk about why 50 Cent would even make this kind of move in the first place. Because people who are not paying close attention might look at this and think, why does 50 Cent care about Finesse2Tymes? What does he have to gain from buying someone out of their mob ties? And the answer to that question is where this gets truly sophisticated. 50 Cent has been on a very deliberate mission for years now. He has been systematically working to establish himself not just as a music mogul but as someone who controls narratives, controls access, and controls the pipelines through which artists move in this industry. Look at his stars' content. Look at Power, Power Book 2, Power Book 3, BMF. These are not just entertainment projects. These are business ecosystems. They create relationships with distributors, with networks, with a kind of infrastructure that gives 50 Cent leverage points all across the entertainment landscape. But here is the thing, when you are building that kind of empire, you sometimes run into friction. You run into other power structures that are already established, that are already in place, that have their own networks and their own loyalties. And rather than go to war directly, which is costly and messy and unpredictable, the smarter play, the 50 Cent play, is to try to neutralize those structures from the inside. Remove a key piece. Shift an allegiance. Make an offer that, if accepted, weakens the other side without a single shot being fired. That is the chess move allegedly being described here. And it is actually kind of brilliant when you think about it purely as strategy. Except it did not work. And that is where J. Prince Jr. comes in. When J. Prince Jr. got wind of what was allegedly being attempted, when the full picture of the situation landed in his orbit, he did not stay quiet. He went off. And I do not use that phrase lightly, because J. Prince Jr. going off is not the same as a regular person going off. When someone with that level of credibility, with that level of respect in the culture, with that level of connection to how things actually work in this world gets on record and expresses the kind of fury that sources are describing, that means something. That signals something. That is a warning shot fired at a volume that the entire industry can hear. Because what J. Prince Jr. reportedly communicated, what he made clear in no uncertain terms, is that this kind of move, this attempt to buy someone away from their loyalties, to use money as a weapon to dissolve authentic relationships, is not something that is going to be tolerated. It is not something that is going to go unanswered. And the implication underneath all of that is that there are consequences. Real consequences. Not rap beef consequences where diss tracks get exchanged and people argue on social media for a week and then everybody links up and acts like it never happened. No. The kind of consequences that come from crossing people who take loyalty as seriously as the Prince family takes it. Now I want to be real with you for a second. Because this is a channel that deals in truth, not in manufactured drama. There are layers to this situation that we have to acknowledge. 50 Cent's team has not confirmed the specifics of this offer. And 50 Cent himself is a masterclass in using ambiguity as a tool. He says things, then he does not say things. He posts, then he deletes. He hints, then he denies. It is a deliberate strategy of keeping people off balance. And it works on most people. But here is the thing, when you have Finesse2Tymes himself reacting, when you have J. Prince Jr. going on record with that level of intensity, the story does not need 50 Cent to confirm it. The reactions alone tell you everything you need to know. Think about it from a logical standpoint. People do not react to things that did not happen. Finesse2Tymes is not sitting around looking for reasons to create drama with one of the most powerful men in hip-hop. That is not a fight you pick unless you have been given a genuine reason to pick it. J. Prince Jr. is not somebody who goes off publicly without purpose. Every public statement from someone at that level is calculated. Every word chosen. Every piece of outrage expressed in public is designed to send a message, to draw a line, to establish where the boundaries are. So when both of these men, Finesse2Tymes and J. Prince Jr., are reacting at this level, the most logical conclusion is that something real happened that provoked those reactions. And let us talk for a minute about what Finesse2Tymes has actually built since coming home. Because I think a lot of people underestimate this man, and that underestimation is part of why someone might think he could be bought. Finesse2Tymes came out of prison and immediately started winning. His music connected. His story resonated. But beyond the music, the relationships he has cultivated, the trust he has earned from people in positions of real power in both the street world and the entertainment world, that is the thing that makes him valuable. That is the thing that someone like 50 Cent would want to neutralize. Because Finesse2Tymes is not just an artist. He is a node in a network. He is a bridge between worlds. And if you can sever that bridge, if you can buy that loyalty away from the people it is currently directed toward, you fundamentally weaken a structure that was operating independently of your own. But Finesse2Tymes apparently looked at that offer, understood exactly what it was and what accepting it would mean, and said no. And more than just saying no, he made it known. He let the right people understand what had been attempted. And in doing so, he demonstrated exactly the kind of loyalty that makes him valuable in the first place. It is almost poetic. The very act of refusing the offer and exposing it is what proves that he was worth targeting. You do not try to buy someone's loyalty if that loyalty does not mean something. Now let us zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture here. Because this situation, as explosive and specific as it is actually a window into something much larger that is happening in hip-hop right now. We are living through a moment where the old power structures are being challenged, where new alliances are being formed, where the people who have been in control for decades are feeling pressure from forces that are coming up from underneath. And one of the ways that established power tries to maintain itself is exactly this, through the strategic acquisition of loyalty, through offers designed to reshape networks, through the use of money and opportunity as tools of control. 50 Cent, whatever you think about him personally, understands this dynamic better than almost anyone. He has been operating at the intersection of street power and corporate power for his entire career. He knows how both worlds work, and he knows how to use the tools of each world in the other. That is his superpower. And that is what makes him genuinely dangerous as an opponent, not because he is going to come at you directly, but because he is going to try to rearrange the chessboard so that by the time you realize what happened, you're already in a losing position. Except this time, the countermove came fast. J. Prince Jr. going off is not just an emotional reaction. It is a strategic response. It is a public declaration that this network, these loyalties, these relationships, they are not for sale. And by making that declaration publicly, by letting the entire culture hear it, J. Prince Jr. is doing two things simultaneously. First, he is reinforcing the strength of the bonds within his network, reminding everyone who is affiliated that the loyalty runs both ways, that they will be protected, that they will be defended publicly and without hesitation. Second, he is sending a message to anyone else who might be tempted to try something similar, that there are real costs to this kind of move, and that those costs will be made visible. That is power. That is how real power operates. Not in threats that nobody can see. In statements that everybody can hear. And here is the thing that I think is going to determine where this all goes from here. And pay close attention because this is the part that most people are not talking about. The offer, whether it is confirmed publicly or not, has already had an effect. But the effect is the opposite of what was intended. Instead of weakening the bonds between Finesse2Tymes and his affiliations, it has strengthened them. Instead of creating doubt and distance, it has created clarity and unity. When you attempt to buy someone's loyalty and they refuse and they expose the attempt, you have not just failed. You have actively made the thing you were trying to weaken stronger. You have given it a story. You have given it a test that it passed. And in cultures where loyalty and the proving of loyalty are central values, a loyalty that has been tested and held is worth 10 times more than a loyalty that has never been challenged. So whoever made this calculation, and whether it was 50 Cent directly or someone in his orbit making moves on his behalf, the calculation was wrong. And now everyone knows it was wrong. And now everyone knows where Finesse2Tymes stands. And now everyone knows where J. Prince Jr. stands. And now the entire culture is watching to see what the next move is. Because there will be a next move. There is always a next move. This is not the kind of situation that just quietly dies down. The stakes are too high. The personalities involved are too large. The networks in conflict are too significant. Something is going to happen next. And when it does, this video right here is going to be the context that everyone needs to understand what they are watching. I want to hear from you in the comments right now. Where do you stand on this? Do you think Finesse2Tymes made the right call? Do you think 50 Cent genuinely made this offer, or do you think there is a version of this story that we are not seeing yet? And what do you think J. Prince Jr.'s next move is? Because if you know anything about how the Prince family operates, you know that going off publicly is usually just the beginning. There is always something that follows. Always. Drop your thoughts below. The comment section on this video is going to be the most real conversation happening in hip-hop right now, and I read every single one. Every single one. And listen, before you go anywhere, make sure you are subscribed. Not because I am asking you to do me a favor. Because if this story develops, and it is going to develop, you need to be here when it does. You need to be on this channel when the next piece drops. Because we are going to stay on this. We are going to track every development. Every statement, every reaction, every hint of what comes next. We are going to be here breaking it down for you with the same level of depth and honesty that we brought to this video today. This is not gossip. This is not entertainment. This is hip-hop history being made in real time. And the people who are paying attention right now are going to be the people who understand what this era really was when the history books get written. Finesse2Tymes chose loyalty over money. J. Prince Jr. made sure the world knew it. And 50 Cent, one of the most calculated minds in the game, just watched a play he designed get flipped into the exact opposite of what he intended. That is the story. That is the truth. And this is just the beginning. Stay locked in. I will see you in the next one.